And a good hand from an excellent Friday night crowd. Sampras to serve.
Sampras against Sargsyan lost just the one service game in the opening set. Well, a good early strike by Safin. This will really make him feel good. Sampras not getting hold of the backhand volley. That'll be an early warning for the big man.
Well, two superb points to get the match underway.
I think that might be a serve that will reap reward for Sampras. One out wide. It's a serve he loves to use on the centre court of Wimbledon. It's just that Safin on his two-hander side is able to cock the wrist and jab the ball back at pace, but on the forehand side he needs a little bit more time.
Holds his opening service game to 15.
I think both players would have taken comfort from the game, even though Safin only won the 1 point. He was middling the ball pretty well, apart from the good serves out wide.
Sampras reminding us that he's not just about serve and volley.
Lovely early strike on the backhand side. Two shots by Sampras, the slice and then this drive. And that'll reassure him because it's a shot that can waver. No big first serve in yet from Safin. A man who last year averaged over 7 aces a match, just a few percentage points less than Sampras.
So early pressure on the 20-year-old, 2 break points. Oh, that was a little quick. 208 kilometers.
He saved 3 of the 4 break points against Andre Pavel.
Just long.
He loves to crowd the opposition early in the match, Sampras. Put the pressure on.
Served himself out of trouble, didn't he, the Russian? 3 aces in 4 points.
A wry smile. Huge relief. And perhaps into a groove on the serve. His serving percentage is usually pretty low, usually under 50%. Well, Sampras learning from his early mistake where he didn't really hammer the volley, this time stamping the right foot across, and that usually signifies a better volley.
Sort of Sampras' own replay of the previous point.
Well, it was a pretty good return by Safin, but the forehand volley of Sampras was so good, allowing him all the time in the world. Well, he's certainly persevering, isn't he, with that swinging serve. And as yet, Safin hasn't found the solution. Oh.
Well, he's not very happy with the service line judge. That's the second call he's queried. But it was just out. Well, quite a bit out. Not that it mattered too much, because Sampras holds to love, and he leads 2-1 on serve.
Well, you're right, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been here before, you know it's time now for the AMJ Campbell Ben Lions move of the game. Yes, 4 lucky fans.
Pete Sampras, well, I mentioned this was one of the major titles that had eluded him, the 1 Grand Slam title that has eluded him is the French Open.
Thanks to AMJ Campbell Ben Lions, they're going to get a great view. Maybe it'll be you next time. We do this every session.
And, this year, of course, he lost in the first round at the French, but he said one very good thing came out of the French Open for me this year. I got engaged to that lady, the lady in the pink t-shirt, Bridget Wilson, an actress, sitting up there with some friends rather than in Pete's box, so probably enjoying the anonymity of sitting in the stands.
She's got the appropriate surname considering the equipment he uses, has she not?
Sampras leading 2-1. There's Paul Annacone, his coach. And also the tidier-upper in the locker room. Tough life these coaches have, isn't it? I wonder if he's on commission. Just backing off because there's some movement right behind Sampras. My movement in the higher parts of the stand, but it's actually in a box right behind Sampras. There we are, that's it, ladies. Sit down now.
Well, taking Safin on the game that Safin likes most. I wouldn't say Sampras is going to win every rally like that, though.
Struggling with the first serve, Safin. But he got a little bit more kick, a little bit more bounce on the second than Sampras was expecting.
Yes, and as a result, Sampras's return, you can see he was moving away from it, beaten by the spin. And good movement by Safin to make room for the forehand. Not much footwork there by Sampras, trying to do it all with the arm.
Well, impressive serving from Safin, 4 aces without reply.
Well, in the quarters of Hamburg, I mean, Hamburg was certainly no fluke. He'd won tournaments before that. He was able to beat Piolín and then Rios. So quality wins.
Oh, there's that sound effect, isn't it, with that stamping right foot.
Yes, it's a bit like you're taught this very often, or at least I was when learning the game. It's a bit like a boxer exhaling when he punches. Try and get the maximum effect.
Also gives us a chance to say thanks to our terrific sound crew, led by Matt. Do a great job.
I think that we're not such a big occasion against Sampras. Safin may have had a bit more to say about the second serve. It was very close. He looked across at the umpire.
Really got hold of that second serve, did Safin.
It should help him as Sampras, of course, strives to serve it even wider.
Good.
Well, the ability to use the single-hander providing a brilliant lob. And Sampras has now missed 7 successive first serves.
So Sampras facing break point. Of course, he had a couple of chances against the Safin serve in the second game. So a second break point.
Just not able to get it quite as accurately down the middle of the court. And neglecting the wide serve now suddenly.
First ace in the nick of time, and just under the 200-kilometre mark. Kilometres an hour, of course. Well, this is most surprising.
Yes, it was the wide serve, but not a very good one. He served 2 there that have been well within Safin's strike zone. See the problem Safin does have when they're, particularly the preceding one to the left court, it really wasn't all that wide. 198 by Sampras' standards, not all that fast, and yet Safin was very late darting across to his right.
Well, a little lucky that that wasn't net call, because again he was going for the one out wide, but you can't find the angle.
Yeah.
Safin, of course, as we were saying, a giant of a man at 6'4", 1m94, sticks out a long leg and a long arm and swats it. Break point for the 4th time.
Again, you can see hardly having to make a full stride even. Certainly a forced error. It was a good return.
Well, he's missed it. Well, Sampras isn't certain. But it's Safin who moves ahead with the first break and a 3-2 lead. Well, it really was a bad miss by Sampras. Safin will take it. Let's have a look at that last point.
Yes, it was a very good second serve, and again out wide you can see just a little late on it here, and with Safin moving to his right to cover the forehand, this was a poor shot by Sampras. He definitely mishit it and didn't frankly deserve to score, and it landed just out. It's a good call.
So a disappointing start for Sampras. Yeah, Sampras won't be happy with his percentage of points converted at the net. Safin, of course, will only come into the net behind really excellent shots. Marat Safin is working this week with fellow Russian Davis Cup player Alexander Volkov, who also worked with him in Hamburg. He's also been working with Andrei Chesnikov, and during the grass court season he worked with Tony Pickard, the former British Davis Cup player, who looked after Stefan Edberg for 70 years. He's being managed these days by Jon Tyriak, and Jon, the wily old fox, is getting some wily old foxes in to coach his young protege.
Well, I love the way Safin really took his time there, wasn't rushed at all, just placed the right leg gently across, stayed down. Sampras' idea, of course, is to put him off his stride. He didn't.
Come on back.
Waiting for a ball kid who's trying to get the ball from a box holder.
The slam dunk. And even the pensioners are on their feet.
Well, magnificent hitting and such good depth by Sampras. It's a very deep slam dunk, actually. He must have worried for just a split second.
Well, Safin showing that nothing wrong with his technique at the net.
Well, given the good start he's had, Safin, he's undoubtedly inspired by the opposition here, showing the full range.
So essential to follow up a break of serve by holding your own. And once again showing his growing maturity. Consider he had a terrible start to the year, hardly won a match for the first 4 months. Since then, rapid progress. Well, now that Safin's surely going to question that. It looked a little wide to me. I don't know about you, Fru.
No, I must admit I wasn't watching it.
Oh, well, no, he couldn't have placed it any better. You expect him to run down everything at the moment.
Well, Safin early on before the match was talking about being displaced and having to move to Spain, and of course the 2 tournaments he won earlier in the year were in Spain, Mallorca and Barcelona. Home from home win, or a couple of wins.
Switch off your telephone.
Always gets a round of applause, always gets totally ignored. Still working on a device to block the signal in a tennis stadium and make a fortune.
Well, he's missing a lot of these volleys, as we saw earlier with that graphic, but the point is really that the second serve is just sitting up rather nicely, and he's been made to bend and stretch. It's not at his feet, it's wide. Those are forced errors. Not often he refuses a ball.
Yes, those touch on the low volleys, the half volleys is not there tonight so far.
Safin, because of his height, 6'4", 1m93, can really get on top of them and use all his muscle to hit them down hard.
Well, you need serves like that. Second ace. But he's behind 4-3 in the first. How much are these errors which we can look at through down to Sampras not playing at his best, and how much is it down to the returns he's facing?
Well, if it wasn't because of Sampras' start, where I thought he was volleying extremely well, the first, certainly the first game of the match, the first two games, I would say it's just a night that Sampras is having off in his volley, which can happen. But there's no doubt that having started as well, that these volleys are being induced by missing the first serve and Safin's big returns on the second serve, getting on top of them, making Sampras play them at awkward angles, awkward positions. And just he's beginning to lose a little bit of confidence on it. Of course, he can regain confidence by regaining his first serve, as he did say on the last point of the game.
Yes. Scratching his head, you can understand why. Early problems for Pete Sampras. 4-3 down, seeing him pick his eyebrows. That was the way we all recognised his father, because we'd never seen his father until the Wimbledon final, because he'd always hidden himself away. As soon as you saw the eyebrows, you knew that had to be Mr. Sampras Senior. New balls in play, Safin leading 4-3. No, he's just not being flustered at all, is he?
Well, new ball, so Sampras was getting that extra little bit of crispness that the new balls give, but just a sweeping shot by Safin. Again, remaining so cool. Well, there's often discussion about forehands and whose forehand you would rather have, but there's no doubt in my mind that this is the one amongst all that I would have. You can have Philippoussis if you like it. I'll take PS's.
I don't think you'd take that one though, would you, Free? You'd put that in the reject basket. It's always fun though to think of your composite tennis player, who's serve, who's forehand, who's backhand, who's volleys, half volleys.
Safin's jolting, as I said before the match. He's got the sort of serve which can really endanger Sampras' return, but like Krajicek's. It hurries through, jumps up. He's keen to show the full range. We saw him play that backhand slice to win a previous game. Got good all-round technique.
Once again over the 200k mark on the serve. And Sampras must serve to stay in the opening set.
Well, getting the wide serve, but still not with the authority.
No, that really is a body serve.
Yes, if you're struggling with the wide ones, this is very often a good one to use, and Sampras utilized it a bit at Wimbledon. I think I remember against Carol Kuchera, serving him right at the body.
Sampras' third ace. Another plane roars overhead on its way into Toronto International. And another serve roars past Marat Safin. 2 aces in a row. Love game for Sampras. But Safin will serve for the first set. So Marat Safin, what an outstanding young talent he is. Now that he seems to have got his mind straight again after the struggles in the early part of the year.
Yes, at one stage he was even thinking of giving the game up. Of course, I imagine it would have been short-lived. But everybody's realized for some time that this is a man that's worth watching, worth persevering with. So I'm sure even had he stopped playing, he'd have come back to it. What else would he do? But I think it's a very difficult match this for Sampras to win, providing, that is echoing my thoughts, providing Safin can just serve out the set. This is a really big test here because he's playing loosely, he's playing I think very calmly, coolly, but this may just unsettle him. Sampras needs to garner an early point or two.
Marat Safin leading 5-4, although we think of him mainly as a clay court player. His first initial success, his first arrival on the world stage was at the French Open. He has won a tournament on American hardcourts last year in Boston, just before the US Open. At the Longwood Cricket Club. How nice they have a cricket club in the United States. We'll almost forgive them the Boston Tea Party for that.
Well, I think the first ever test match played between countries was between the United States and Canada.
Well, interesting that he came in there not behind his normal sliced approach, but he went for the drive approach.
Yes, which of course gives Safin just a little less time.
Uh-oh. That's a bad error. And certainly now the pressure on Safin. Seeded number 8 to Sampras' 2.
15.
Well, a corrected call. Sampras having a long, hard look.
Certainly more out than in. Could only be the outside of the line. And it is, yes. Good correction, Lions lady.
Yes, corrected her own call.
Certainly coming up with the big serves when needed, as he did in his opening service game.
Set point. Just wide. No protest from Safin. That's well wide. And Marat Safin has the opening set, 6 games to 4.
6 games to 4.
In 35 minutes. Well, cat very much amongst the pigeons.
Yes, and surprised, but really not all that surprising, because we certainly know the talent of Safin. We know that Sampras does have trouble against very big servers. And the point is that Safin, when he's been in his 2 crises, in his first service game and his last, he's had the big serve to get out of trouble. And where Sampras is trying to rush Safin, Safin's backhands held very firm. He's remained calm. Safin rushed Sampras in that last game, and it was the mighty Sampras who buckled a bit, who just lost his sweetness on the backhand swing and played really 2 pretty poor backhands, considering he needed to break serve.
Let's have a look at the first set statistics. And Sampras, well, got his first serve percentage up. Safin's very low, but when you look at those statistics and you say fewer winners, almost as many unforced errors, how did he win the set? He won the points that mattered. It's the old story. He took the 1 break point, Sampras didn't. Let's have a look at the service pattern of Safin. Whites are the first serves, yellows are the seconds, and the reds are the aces. They're really mixing it up. Quite a few into the body as well as into the corners.
Yes, and I think to go back to the errors and the unforced errors, I think the point really is, and I think the statisticians have got it absolutely right, well done folk, is that Sampras is making more forced errors, and that is really the key. He's in, it's Safin who's playing the terrific shots, and Sampras is making errors as a result of those good shots of Safin.
There are the forced errors, and it illustrates the point that Fru is making quite perfectly. Second set. Well, even his slight mishits are working.
Yes, as David says, a slight mishit, but there was just enough goodness in the shot to keep it in. It's exactly where he intended to hit it.
Perhaps that's the biggest difference of all, that the modern rackets are made compared with wood rackets. The sweet spot in which you can get away with a shot is so much bigger. In the old wood ones, you had to middle it, otherwise it went nowhere.
Well, just needed to move his feet a little bit better to that, because he was in a commanding position. You see the problem for Sampras on that right court without the swinging serve. He's a little handcuffed. He doesn't have as many options.
Even getting the first serves back with interest now.
Well, I suppose a lot of people see the scoreline and just think, well, Sampras loses these first sets as he did against Lodra in the first round. He'll go through to win, but don't be so sure. Unless this man really weakens, I think it's a very, very difficult match for Sampras to win. He's got to up his game a lot.
Oh, yes, particularly if Safin deals with a very fine passing shot as well as that.
It's just the all-round technique that Safin has that makes me feel that when he's placed in positions like this, particularly on that backhand volley.
Sampras not too happy with the calls out there, but he's wrong again.
Yes, I think it's an attitude of mind probably brought on by Safin's fine play.
Playing with supreme confidence, love service game.
If you think how well he did in the first set, not dropping his serve with a comparatively low serve percentage, what happens to Safin if he serves with a high percentage? Somewhere around where Sampras usually serves it at. Sampras, for instance, last year 60%, Safin 49% first serves in.
Lovely exchange.
Well, this is the hope, of course, that with Safin playing as superbly as he is, that it'll bring the very best out of Sampras, as we saw at the latter stages at Wimbledon. Let's see if he goes to the body again. I think at 30 love, I'd be trying the wide one just to try and get that one grooved. He was, but it was going nowhere really.
Fifth ace from Sampras. Love game for Sampras, and he leads 2-1 in the second set. Yes, it certainly would be lovely if Sampras could produce his best tennis with Safin playing the way he is. We'll have a treat for the rest of this match if that's the case.
It would be a treat for locals, because Sampras has never won here and really never quite played his best. I know he's, I think last year he lost to Agassi. He's had those sort of losses, but just never quite produced his best, and it would be a real treat for Torontonians if he were to do that. Because you can't expect him week in and week out to be in Wimbledon, US Open type winning form. Particularly now at this stage of his career, he tends to save it for those major events.
A few calluses, I suspect, maybe a blister or two. His first tournament back since Wimbledon. Sampras leads 2-1, second set. First set, Safin. Not only does he play with a Wilson racket, he's using Wilson balls. They, of course, provide the balls for the US Open, and the warm-up tournaments like to use the same balls because the players like that.
A real shake of the head as he missed that. Certainly an unforced error. Well, it's a big point, just as those points were in the Safin service game when serving for the first set. Sampras unable to come up with the backhand pass.
Sampras showing some signs of coming alive.
Yes, a good solid backhand there. That might help him to find it again. And the forehand just taken on the wave like a surfer. Moving in.
Oh, that's just huge.
High bounce really doesn't bother Safin because of his tallness and his strength. Piece of granite.
Just wide. First juice game of this second set, longest game of the match so far, the fifth game in which we had the one break and had 3 juices. showing his skills at the net.
Well, we've seen the backhand volley operating really well on the Safin side of the net. And here was a test of the forehand volley. Playing it nicely out in front of him, cocking the wrist, leaning down, getting over it.
You get a chance, give me a ball.
Oh my word. Well, that time Sampras found a pretty good angle and it still wasn't enough.
Yes, this is a superb shot because Safin on this occasion really had to swing away to his right. Well, the thought might have crossed his head, as we see it from the net cam, of trying to wrong foot Safin.
So Sampras getting his percentage of points won at the net up, but just look at Safin, that's outstanding. Took him on again, took a bit of courage.
I think he needs to, really. He needs to find that serve. I think Safin's going to miss more than he's going to make on that side.
That's how I feel in the mornings.
Yes.
Normally all right by 8 o'clock at night. The old joints have just about loosened up by then.
Well, the NUE having its effect, if not on the serve, certainly off the ground. A little lazy, just trying to push it.
Just found the line. Big difference, of course, between a first and a second serve at 30 all when you're already a set down. Oh, it's just wide. Good call. Some people didn't realize it was wide.
That's a great call because the Sampras would surely have been in the way of the Lions lady. Very difficult to see, but a good one.
Well, he's clinging on in this second set, Sampras, and managing to stay ahead. Sampras managing to stay ahead because he's really being stretched now.
Yes, and I think we can certainly deduce from the sounds that Sampras was making in the last game there that it is going to take a pretty big effort on his part, really, to get on top in this match. Unless, of course, Safin relents, and I just don't have the feeling he will. The reason being that he's inspired by playing the very best, the greatest, as it were. And therefore, he's up for this at all stages.
If we can have a look at Marat Safin's box. It's Alexander Volkov, then Alexander Volkov's wife in the middle, and the dark-haired lady is Cristina Torrens. Marat Safin's girlfriend. There's a Cristina Torrens Valero, isn't there, on the women's tour from Spain. Christina Torrens, the girlfriend of Marat Safin, and she's Spanish because, of course, Marat has lived for most of the last 5 or 6 years in Spain. Tennis Masters Series continues in Cincinnati next week. Marat Safin will play a qualifier in the first round, and Pete Sampras starts against Mariano Zabaleta. Wayne Ferreira against Andre Agassi, Richard Krajicek against Yevgeny Kavelnikov, Todd Martin against Nicholas Kiefer. There's 3 of the first round matches, outstanding first round matches. Once again, he responds with the big serve. Eight aces now for Safin.
Well, Safin, of course, peppering the Sampras backhand. Every reason why he should. It's no secret that it's not as strong as the forehand.
But he hasn't been able to put his game together tonight, Sampras.
So much really hinged, I imagine, on those 2 break points in the Safin opening game. Sampras certainly looked good at the start, really good. Well, it was a much better effort by Sampras. It's high time too, because he's jerked so many of these backhands, and this one was certainly a forced error. It was a difficult volley for Safin, and yet he almost brought it off.
That is quick. Throughout this match, starting with his opening service game, when he's been under any sort of threat on serve, he has produced the big serve. A change of balls, hence the slight delay. There we are, observing the etiquette of the game. Of course, Sampras, a great studier of tennis history. Rod Laver, his great idol. That's not the way to use new tennis balls. First double fault of the match.
Yes, he's served an average of about 4 a match so far in his 3 matches.
Worrying times for Paul Annacone. And for this man, of course.
He's found it, Eureka!
15.
At last getting the wide serve. Oh yes, he pushed it. It was there for him if he'd hit it. It was a clean winner, it had to be.
Well, you can't really blame Safin, at least I can't, because I think he figured he had it won if he just kept it in court. He hadn't realized really that Sampras was as quick as he was and perhaps as determined.
Is it in?
Yes,
it is. His heart must have been in his mouth for a moment.
Good moving by the big man.
Yeah, on the line.
Game, Sampras.
Well, that's a big, big hold for Sampras from love 30 to stay in front, 4-3 on serve, second set. And interesting that on that 15-30 point, which was a huge point in the context of the match, he should be so determined, because given what this man has achieved in the game, to see him still motivated, in which is in an important tournament, but as we keep saying, not a Grand Slam, it's great, Simon.
Oh, I think so. And in many ways, that's why I used the word, because it would have been so easy for Sampras at love 30 to have said, well, you know, I've just won Wimbledon, I've got the US Open coming up, this chap's playing really well, it's obviously going to be a real effort. It's the sort of feeling that people have against Sampras too, with his big serve as a rule. I'm sure even Agassi gets really frustrated at times and says, what the heck, you know, what am I doing out here? This guy just won't let me into points. Well, it's a little bit like that with Safin tonight. And yet to have made the effort there where he could so easily have just let it go and said, good shot, Safin, is terrific, I think. Great for the locals.
Well, Bridget Wilson is enjoying the night, even if her man isn't. It's clearly in good company. And in contrast, Marat Safin's girlfriend looks, you know, as if she's got an appointment with the dentist. No breaks in this second set. Well, how quickly fortunes can fluctuate. A moment ago, Safin had 30 love on this man's serve. Now roles are reversed. The phrase Rose-Wallian about somebody else's slice backhand today, but that was something special, deep and with a little bit of side on it. 2 break points. A little shorter, and that works. And the clenched fist tells you more about Sampras' attitude to this match. He wants it.
Well, I'm glad we saw the ladies in their lives, because that's one of the reasons why Safin's girlfriend was looking a bit anxious. Sampras has done it so often in his career, Safin, of course, hasn't. There's a man who's won 13 majors.
Not happy about his serve, is he?
Oh, terrific second serve right in the corner. You could see it had Safin on the wing. Really opened up the court. Well, he just dismisses it, doesn't he? Just 145 Ks, and left Sampras standing. He might as well have been stationary.
Eight aces each now.
Well, there's a saying in Afrikaans, "On her wen," he who perseveres wins, and Sampras persevering until he got that wide swing.
Two set points for a set all.
Test of your reflex, isn't it, to catch it off the backboard.
Terrific second serve right on to the service line. Sampras has the second set, 6-3. It's one set all. Talking about Sampras and his attitude to the game, the attitude to this match, and at last it seems to me that he is being accepted as the great champion that he is. I think people warm to him because of the emotion he showed with his parents winning Wimbledon this year, winning his 13th, record 13th Grand Slam. And for years people have dismissed this man as boring because he doesn't misbehave on court. I mean, what sort of society do we live in these days?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, talking to the champions at the Champions Parade at Wimbledon, unanimously full of admiration and liking for Sampras. They enjoy the way he plays, they enjoy his classical style, not one of these huge Western forehands with a massive amount of spin and percentage, and they also like his demeanor on court. Most of them behaved exactly like Sampras.
The second set statistics for you. And percentage of serves going up for both of them. Winners, pretty good. Sampras making a few more unforced errors in that one compared with the forced errors of the first set, but the winners count good. And this time he took the one chance, but I'm sure if Safin is to lose this match, he'll look back at that pushed forehand down the line at 15-30, because he had it if he'd gone for it. He should have made it, but as Fru was making a very valid point, Sampras so quick to get across and cut off the pass.
Final set.
Yes, the floodlights a bit more needed, but it's going to be a beautiful sunset tonight.
15-11.
Ninth ace for Safin to move ahead in that particular count. Nope, just wide. He's suddenly found this curveball, isn't it? This backhand slice with a bit of cut on it.
Not only found it, but of course he's been trying the conventional backhand slice cross court and really not making no inroad. So that's the second time he's played it successfully to the forehand side. And as we all know, it's more difficult for a person with topspin playing with top to pick up a low slice ball. Any of those of you who've played table tennis would know when somebody cuts a serve, very difficult actually to get it back over the net.
Oh! Well, that's a very different backhand, but equally good.
30-all.
I've been talking a lot about Sampras in the last few minutes, but all credit to this young man because he's not panicking now. Very different position. He's serving from miles out.
Game 7. First game, final set.
Why would he be doing that, Fru?
Well, I've seen him do it a lot. He very often does it to suggest that he's going to be kicking the ball wide to the backhand side, and very often he actually plays the big one down the middle to be able to use the forehand on the next shot. We've seen Sampras do it himself. He uses it at the French.
Yes, I was just going to make that point, and I think it's a mistake for him to do so.
Yes. Yes, because you move wide and you actually you increase the amount of distance between you and the service court, so it actually gives the opponent more time to see your serve. And in Sampras's case, of course, he's got one of the great serves. I think it negates a lot of his strength by doing it.
Missing out on the touch shot.
Yes, it was a brilliant cross-court angle here by Safin, really putting a lot of spin on it, and Sampras looking for the half-volley drop. And it landed like a bit of porridge on his foot almost. Well, there's not a lot wrong. Safin, a good bit of anticipation here. One long stride across. Really beaten by pace. Super little into-out volley because the return really ricocheted back off the fast serve. 205 kilometers an hour. That's Sampras' quickest.
Game, Sampras.
These guys, they get these net cords and the big points.
Yes, he just mustn't start thinking seriously along those lines, Safin, because he can build mountains out of molehills sometimes. And really that was Sampras's shot all the way, or Sampras's point all the way. It just happened to hit the net en route. Surprised he didn't try his slice to the forehand again there. Perhaps he was too far over on the forehand side.
Oh, some unforced errors creeping into the Sampras game again. Twice as many. In this game, they have been unforced.
Game, Safin.
And Safin comes up with a love service game. And he's ahead on serve in the deciding set. As I was saying, Fru, we've been talking a lot about Sampras, but he hasn't wilted, has he?
He hasn't, no. Just that one shake of the head, really. Otherwise, he's looked very energized and, as I said earlier, inspired because he's playing the great Sampras. And I really like the way he's handled himself. He's been able to smile to his aides in the box. Mind you, that too can suggest perhaps a little loss of concentration, but each to his own. At least he's seeing the relaxed side of life as well. It doesn't seem to have distracted him. He's then been able to switch back on immediately. It's different if you're smiling and then as a result lose your concentration, which is I think what Sampras would do. If he changed his character on court, he wouldn't have his mind on the job. Safin's certainly kept his on.
Marat Safin leads 2-1. Final set of the final quarterfinal. Well, the sun is just about to leave us. The moon is up. Makes me feel all romantic. It's a wonderful place, the universe. And we're such a tiny part of it.
Well, I may be tiny, but I don't think you are.
Compared with the universe, even I'm tiny. Bits of towel sticking to his whiskers.
You mean there's no truth in the fact that he's auditioning for Father Christmas in the pantomime at the Bristol Hippodrome?
No, I don't think Pete needs a second job. He's only won $40 million in prize money.
Probably just a little upright as he played this, and Sampras back to stomping his foot again. He was there, and with his sort of talent, might well have made it. I think he expected to.
It's Still, occasionally it's been a slightly stuttering performance from Sampras. As if occasionally there's a bit of dirt in his carburettor, misfiring. And those are the shots that he's really struggled on, those low volleys and those half volleys.
30 all.
So a huge point. Was it a good call? No, it wasn't. But in the crutch, he makes the half volley.
Yes, I remember when Sampras won his first US Open, how impressed I was by his forehand half volley. It's far superior to the same shot on the backhand side.
Game, set.
First US Open was in 1990. A whole decade of major titles. 90 to Wimbledon 2000.
Only man on the tour to have won a title in each of the last 10 years. He's made it.
Well, brilliant point. Up in fact, until the Sampras stop volley, it wasn't as good a one as it should have been. But in the end, of course, it just irritates Safin that again he's lost a point that he believes he should have won.
Well, so far, when in trouble, he's responded with the big serves, and he needs them now.
.205. And he's looking for an even faster one.
Now, who's she praying for? It's remarkable. 11 aces now. And again, Safin plays himself out of trouble. Love 30. And then he wins 4 straight points and leads 3-2 in the third.
Same thing.
So Marat Safin managing to keep himself in front. He's done really well again on those backhands against the chip charge, but just thinking again to what we were saying earlier, maybe Sampras should be putting a few to the forehand.
Yes, he suddenly seems to have forgotten whether it just happened that he played them there just by chance. In fact, it seems to me that that must have been the case, because he hasn't used them again. He's had the opportunity, certainly in that game, to slide them away from Safin on the forehand side, where it's more difficult, as I pointed out, because he's rolling his forehand drive, to dig it out. On the backhand side, he plays with very much a cocked wrist, so he's able to control it and dig it out.
So there we are, more winners, but more unforced errors from Sampras. Well, the natural light now fading away fast, the floodlights coming into play. It's going to be a gorgeous sunset, I suspect, away to our left. And that's all right. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight, as they say where I come from. It's the red sky in the morning that the shepherd's warning, so we should have another lovely day tomorrow. Let's hope so. 2-3, final set. That's the serve that Safin has struggled against, isn't it? The one swinging into his body in the ad court. Got a lot of body to get out of the way of it.
Well, what a great angle Sampras had, because the Trans-Siberian Express was just about to take off and he had to get it sharp. And look at this, the black bulk. There he goes. Good effort.
Left.
Just a second double fault, and it's never a good time for a double, but the least bad is when you're 40 love up. Three all, final set. Time for a change of tennis balls.
Safin, of course, ensuring that each ball he serves with in this game will be a new one. He doesn't want one of those used jobs. That one, for instance, he doesn't want to use that one again until he has to.
And the reason for that, of course, a new ball, brand new ball, no fluff on it. It'll fly through the air that little bit faster.
Yes, more resistant, and don't pick up any bits of dirt. He has this amazing ability, Safin, as tall as he is and as hard as he hits these, to keep them very low. Even when Sampras is staying back, he seldom overhits the two-hander. I think he's got one of the best two-handers. It's even better at its best than Kafelnikov's.
Still no breaks in this final set. Indeed, no break points. Safin leads 4-3. So we reach that stage of a match where it's a huge advantage to be serving first. As long as you hold serve, you've got your nose in front of the final set.
And I mentioned Kafelnikov, of course, and don't they in a way play similar tennis in that they're not born serve volleyers. They like to put in the big serve. Safin's naturally quite a lot bigger than Kafelnikov's, but then he waits for the next one and plays it off the ground. Technically too, like Kafelnikov, although he doesn't play the amount of doubles that his Russian compatriot does, he's got the technique to do well in any sphere of the game, and therefore is so capable really of picking up low balls, of playing the volley, particularly on the backhand side. A very good technique. He's Safin 9 in the world in the entry system rankings, and Kafelnikov 5, so the Russians have got 2 in the top 10.
Well, there we can see the fading light, the natural light. Not a cloud in that shot, and 1 or 2 away to our left. Nice high fluffy ones. Been beautiful weather the last 2 days after the hot, steamy and stormy weather of the first couple of days. Sampras looks to be changing his racket. We noticed that a string is fraying. He hasn't broken any strings tonight, which is unusual for him. He has thin gut, tightly strung. 3-4 is the score in the final set.
He's played the majority of his two-handers cross-court, hasn't he, Safin? Sampras has had great success in that serve. He's had all evening. Serve to the left court to Safin's forehand.
And in this set, Sampras' first serve percentage gone up dramatically to 74%. Love game for Sampras, 4-all.
Fourth love service game of the match for Sampras.
2 for Safin, isn't it?
2 for Safin.
Yeah.
Well, he got over there. It was a pretty good strike by Sampras there. And the second time, really, he's hit the top of the net on the backhand volley.
Not a good ball toss, fell off that one. Ah! Well, when Sampras hit that, I thought, that's shorter, he's going to struggle. He didn't.
Well, it was an extremely difficult shot for Safin to play, and I was saying he hasn't gone up the line much. Caught behind. Sampras actually inched over the other way.
12 aces now from Safin and 4 without reply in this set. Again, the serve into the body, working. It's been one of the features of the match. You get one coming at you at that speed, you don't have too much time to react. 5-4. Well, even if he were to lose this match, I think Safin would take great heart from his performance, playing Sampras on a hard court in North America. And compared with their one previous meeting, this has been a vast improvement.
Yes, I think he should. I have the feeling, though, he's that sort of person who'd say, "Dash it, it's a match that I should have won." But you're absolutely right. It's a terrific performance, and considering the disappointment of perhaps being on top, even it seemed to me psychologically towards the end of that second set, suddenly losing his service game, he's done very, very well in this final set. Has not yet been taken to deuce, and a couple of times has been down at the beginning of the games, and yet then has delivered. And we know Sampras is obviously much more on his toes. He knows he doesn't have to go 2 more sets or so. The sooner this is over with, the better, and he wants to end it his way.
Pete Sampras examining the calluses as he prepares to serve to stay in the match. 4-5. Tennis Masters Series Toronto, the last of the quarterfinals, the winner to play Wayne Ferreira, and in the other semi-final, Karol Levy of Israel against Jiří Novak of the Czech Republic.
Well, again, the brilliant wide serve catching Safin just as well for Sampras that he's rediscovered this. Makes it so much easier. That's pretty much a formality, although we saw him miss one like that in the first set, didn't we?
A nice round 200 Ks.
First ace of the set for Sampras. He served a perfect game against Sargsyan, 4 aces. What a feeling of satisfaction that must give. Trying to get that hand dry to give himself a really secure grip of the racket handle. just noticed this,
5 games up.
the way Sampras strides the tee there as he approaches. Always on his toes, little hop, always prepared, as if he's on springs, on coils, ready to move one way or the other.
If we go to 6-all, it'll be a tiebreak.
Ball boy, it's out front. Ball boy, it's in front of the camera.
Looking for an errant ball.
Well, for the first time almost, he's missed one of those.
Well, in many ways, I think it was a mistake that Safin let the lob drop in the first place. Most players, most really good players, would have taken that initially right in the air before it bounced, but it worked out all right.
Yet again, a serve over the 200k mark. 201, that one. Now that one doesn't register so fast, only 185, because we all know that it's the quick ones coming straight at the radar gun down the middle that register quickest. And that one was the fastest of the match, 209. Safin leads 6-5.
6 games to 5.
And he backs up the big serve with some fine volleying.
Well, he's got really good technique on the volley. If you notice the way Safin plays this, he virtually turns his back on Sampras, and it's so difficult then to gauge where he's going to be hitting the ball. You're not sure whether he's going to push it down the line because he's in a perfect physical position to do that, or to play it cross court. And once you've got your opponent in two minds, you're in pole position. Just a super finishing touch.
Are those twins behind him?
I'm sure they must be.
Yeah, look like it, don't they? Identical twins. Pete Sampras has to hold serve and force a tiebreak. Well, the final quarterfinal here in Toronto going the distance. 5-6, Sampras to serve, final set.
Done.
Been a quick match, a terrific tempo they play at, an hour and 41 minutes, and it's been fascinating stuff. And who's going to win? We haven't got a clue, and that's what we like. I don't know about that one. No, plumb on the line. That's two horrible calls. And it could be so crucial.
Yes, just not getting under that one quite enough, just perhaps turning the top edge of the racket over a little bit as he went to control it.
Got that one right.
Just phenomenal footwork, because it was such a difficult return. He might well have tried to half volley it again, in which case Safin would have been smiling.
It's long.
15.
Well, Sampras really was stretched. It was a fine play by Safin. He was hoping, but I'm sure he knew that he'd missed.
15-30. Didn't do enough. 2 match points.
Well, most untypical of Sampras, that, surely. My goodness.
Thank you.
Just a little too deep for Safin. The volley. Time for a few racket repairs, fortifying the central strings as they fray. The last thing he wants is for a string to break now.
And also giving his opponent a little chance to think about the 2 match points. Well, you just couldn't get a better rally than that. Every shot was perfect.
Yes, it was like electricity flowing through the court. It all happened so quickly. Beautiful straight lines. Well, a really difficult one for Sampras to contend with, coming straight at him. Self-defense, really. Although Safin didn't hit it particularly hard, that one.
Again, another tremendous point.
Well, so frustrating for Safin because he could see where Sampras was in relation to where the ball was when it hit the net, that he'd beaten him going down the line. Sampras was expecting it cross court.
That's one thing he hasn't done well at all tonight, are the drop volleys.
Well, Sampras seems to have this bee in his bonnet, that he's playing a big man who perhaps isn't that mobile, but he's just, unfortunately for him, playing them at the wrong time. Safin's really going to be up for it, and he is pretty quick.
Juice for the 3rd time. Both men have had 2 points to win this game. Of course, Safin's were match points. Just finds the outside edge, and it's match point number 3.
Advantage Safin. Thank you.
next.
Sampras thinking of changing his racket, deciding against it. What a reflex attempt this was by Sampras, because so difficult. It looked like a dead net court to me. The instincts of Sampras so sharp.
Sampras.
Oh my word. Well, even the greats can get a little bit nervous. Third double.
Yes, he's just tried to perhaps overextend on the first serve when he's had the ad. .198 kilometers. Sampras has got to keep it smooth here.
We'll go to the tie-break. Sampras staves off 3 match points. No wonder he goes, phew. 9 minutes of high drama, that last game.
Well, they've been treated to a feast, and all credit to Sampras for staying in it.
Safin.
My word, Sampras staying back.
137 kilometer kick serve. That's the last tiebreaker he lost, was that first set at Wimbledon to Rafter. I've always remembered the second that he looked like losing.
Yeah, Rafter led 4-1 with too many breaks.
Hasn't quite got the knack on the attempted sort of slam dunk that Sampras has. Apologies.
Really meant.
Yes.
Well, now, this is saying an awful lot about this young man's composure, isn't it? He's had 3 match points, they've been snatched away from him, and yet he's playing a storming tiebreak. And all the pressure on Sampras. He has to win these 2 points on his own serve.
Oh!
second serve.
4-2, 7.
Well, we had a beautiful view of it landing smack on the line and just swinging away. I think Safin had almost anticipated it. Still did him no good.
It's been a wonderful evening. Packed house, 10,000 treated to a terrific match. Sampras trying to keep the young gun at bay. Successive aces. That his fastest serve of the match, 208 kilometers an hour. So Sampras has held his 2 service points, stays in contention. Just the 1 mini break, the 1 point against the serve. 4-3, Safin leads. The forehand.
And Safin played not a bad shot with it, and relief in coach Anakone's face. Sampras determined to win a stop volley, wasn't he?
2 sets all, 6 games all, 4 all. Pretty even, really.
Looking across at his box.
It missed. It was a good call, no doubt about it, but so close. All right, whoever wins the next point has match point.
Oh, dropped it.
It's Sampras' match point.
6-5.
It just has the result of the racket quivering in Sampras' hand. It just shocks him. It's the power with which it comes through. It's also the height of delivery. I think it's a little unexpected for Sampras, even though that one was under 200. He still rocked him.
6 all, final set breaker. He's missed it.
7-6.
What a miss. And Sampras' second match point is on his own serve.
Well, he's been using the serve down the middle so effectively. Does he continue to do it?
Went for the big one, gambled, and for once he lost.
Wow, that is a shock. That really is a shock. Wasn't close, frankly.
7 all. Sampras has had 2 match points, Safin 3. Brilliant, brilliant low volley from Sampras, because Safin had really got hold of the return.
Yes, wasn't it just? And yet Safin still had the opportunity, played the wrong shot. Had time to get the two-hander into action.
Third match point, Sampras. There's a chip and charge. We came into the backhand and Safin's nerve holds.
Well, he's got a dynamic backhand, he really is. It's cocked wrist, just a little sweep. It's almost effortless.
3 match points each. And now it's number 4 for Safin.
9-8, Safin.
Suddenly Sampras can't find a first serve. Oh, another double fault! And Marat Safin wins 10-8 in the final set. 2 disastrous double faults for Sampras. But listen to the ovation for this young man. Yeah, the little shake of the head, those double faults gave him no chance. A big, big hand for Sampras.
Well, I think he's hurt himself catching the ball.
And he wanted that, and it shows. And that makes the victory of Safin even more creditable.
Yeah, the very fact that Sampras put so much into it, it could have been so easy for him, somebody as great as he, just to perhaps let it go, but it was a matter of pride. He hasn't won here in Canada, and he was doing his level best to do it tonight. Plus, too, I think he was inspired by the fact that Safin was playing so well, just as Safin himself was inspired by Sampras' greatness.
Well, it was an outstanding match. Here are the statistics. Not much to choose between them in the service department except those double faults. And the winners in favour of Sampras, but the unforced errors in favour of Safin. But statistics don't really matter, it was just the drama of the match. Both men having 3 match points before the double fault on Safin's 4th.
And when you're going for the sort of serves that Sampras does, there's always a chance, really, that he is going to make those sort of double faults. This is Safin's.
These are Safin's aces.
"13 of them in all. Those are the telling ones, really rocking into Sampras' backhand side.
So let's update you with the draw. Not the 4 men we would have expected, but that's the glory of sport, its unpredictability. Harold Levy, a qualifier from Israel, will play Yuri Novak, and Marat Safin, after that outstanding win, will play Wayne Ferreira, the champion here 4 years ago. There we are. It's been a very exciting quarter-final day. 2 semi-finals tomorrow, the first at 1, the second at 6:30 local time. Hope you'll be with us then. From us, though, good night.